Thousands of years ago, the people of Israel lived in Egypt. At first, they were welcome there, but as the years passed, a new Pharaoh came to power. He feared that the Israelites were becoming too numerous and too strong. So Pharaoh made them slaves. Day after day, the Israelites worked under the hot sun, building cities and monuments for Egypt. Their lives were filled with suffering, pain, and hard labor. They cried out for help, and God heard their prayers. God had a plan. One day, an Israelite baby boy was born during a dangerous time. Pharaoh had ordered that all Hebrew baby boys be killed. To save her child, the baby's mother placed him in a basket and set him afloat on the Nile River. The basket drifted through the reeds until it was discovered by Pharaoh's daughter. She felt compassion for the child and decided to adopt him as her own son. She named him Moses. Moses grew up in Pharaoh's palace, surrounded by wealth and privilege. But he never forgot that he was an Israelite. One day, Moses saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. Filled with anger, Moses defended the slave and killed the Egyptian. Afraid of Pharaoh's punishment, Moses fled into the wilderness. For 40 years, Moses lived as a shepherd in the land of Midian. Then something extraordinary happened. One day, while tending his sheep near Mount Horeb, Moses saw a bush that was on fire. But the bush was not burning up. As Moses approached, a voice called from the flames. "Moses, Moses!" It was God. God told Moses that he had seen the suffering of his people and had come to rescue them. He commanded Moses to return to Egypt and lead the Israelites to freedom. Moses was afraid. "Who am I to do such a thing?" he asked. But God promised, "I will be with you." Trusting God's promise, Moses returned to Egypt with his brother Aaron. Together, they stood before Pharaoh and delivered God's message. "Let my people go." But Pharaoh refused. In fact, he made the Israelites work even harder. So God began to demonstrate his power through a series of mighty signs known as the 10 plagues. First, the Nile River turned to blood. Then came frogs, covering every corner of Egypt. After that came gnats, flies, disease among livestock, painful boils, devastating hailstorms, swarms of locusts, and darkness that covered the land for 3 days. Yet Pharaoh's heart remained stubborn. Finally came the 10th and most terrible plague. God warned that every firstborn son in Egypt would die during the night. But he provided a way for the Israelites to be protected. Each family was instructed to sacrifice a lamb and place its blood on the doorposts of their homes. That night, God's judgment passed through Egypt. When he saw the blood on the Israelite homes, he passed over them. By morning, Egypt was filled with mourning. Pharaoh finally surrendered. "Leave," he commanded. "Take your people and go." After more than 400 years of slavery, the Israelites were finally free. Thousands upon thousands of men, women, and children began their journey out of Egypt. God guided them with a pillar of cloud during the day and a pillar of fire at night. But their freedom would soon be tested. After the Israelites left, Pharaoh changed his mind. He gathered his army, his horses, and his chariots and raced after them. Soon the Israelites found themselves trapped. In front of them was the Red Sea. Behind them was Pharaoh's powerful army. Fear spread through the camp. The people cried out to Moses, "Why did you bring us here? We would have been better off staying in Egypt." But Moses answered with faith, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm and see the salvation of the Lord." Then God told Moses to raise his staff over the sea. Moses obeyed. Suddenly, a strong wind began to blow. The waters of the Red Sea parted. Towering walls of water rose on both sides, and a dry path appeared through the middle of the sea. The Israelites could hardly believe their eyes. One by one, families began walking across. Children, parents, grandparents, and entire tribes crossed safely through the sea on dry ground. When Pharaoh's army saw what had happened, they charged into the path after them. But God protected his people. As the last Israelite reached the other side, God told Moses to stretch out his hand once more. The walls of water collapsed. The sea rushed back into place. Pharaoh's army was swept away. The Israelites stood safely on the shore, watching the mighty waters close behind them. They were finally free, no longer slaves, no longer prisoners. God had rescued them. The people rejoiced. They sang songs of praise and celebrated God's faithfulness. Moses led them in worship, declaring, "The Lord is my strength and my song. He has become my salvation." The story of Moses and the Exodus became one of the most powerful stories in history. It showed that God hears the cries of his people, keeps his promises, and can make a way even when there seems to be no way. Whenever the Israelites remembered the crossing of the Red Sea, they remembered this truth. No obstacle is too great for God, and that is why the story of Moses continues to inspire millions of people around the world even today. The God who rescued Israel from Egypt is a God of power, faithfulness, and hope. And sometimes, when everything seems impossible, the greatest miracles are just about to begin. If you're blessed by this message today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Help us spread God's love and his powerful word to more people around the world. Stay connected for more inspiring Bible messages, gospel stories, and faith-filled content. May God bless you and your family abundantly. Amen.